All right, y'all. Today's kind of a bittersweet day. I was looking around on Craigslist like I do every single day, every single hour, every waking moment of my life. And I see a guy had a TW200 for sale or trade for an ATC. Well, excuse me. Anyways, I've had this trike now for 5-6 years. It's the Auto X. It's got a little bit of a bore on it. You know, hand guards, exhaust, fresh engine paint. It's a nice trike, but for $1,500 the guy wants for the TW200, or he's agreeing to go ahead and just trade me straight across, which I feel is a pretty fair trade, because if I was to sell this thing, I'd be asking $1,500. So if I go into some sort of deep buyer's remorse and I go and you know, trade for this TW and decide I don't like it down the road, I can turn around and sell that easily for, you know, $1,500, like no problem. So that's what's going down. I'm all loaded up here. I'm getting ready to drive over to Coos Bay, Oregon, where I will be meeting the guy. So I'll do a little video once I get to their place and do a little side-by-side of the TW and the 200, and honestly hoping that it's a piece of crap and that I can just take this thing back home and you know, hit the dunes on my way. So we'll see what happens though. If I fall in love with it, I'm definitely going to trade the guy straight across, title for title. So we'll see how it goes. I got like a 2-hour drive ahead of me here, so I'm gonna get on the road, and like I said, once I get back, I'll do a little video on what the heck happened over there. Alrighty, tune in later. Alright, real quick guys, I just met up with the guy for this TW. Unfortunately, it just got a lot of spray paint and the engine didn't really run as good as I wanted. The speedo has some issues, as you can see, and it's also got pretty high miles. It's funny, the guy's a freaking realtor. I'm a realtor too, and he told me that he had to, you know, trade one bike for another, and that his wife, well, I always blame the wife. They always blame the wife. It's funny. He said the wife wouldn't let him buy another one, so he had to trade. And I go, all right, well, you know. And I really had remorse. I've done this a lot where I've gotten rid of bikes and regretted it. But fortunately, he goes, well, just in case this happened, I got $1,500 for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and part with it for $1,500, and I think I'm going to go back home to my hometown in Brookings and see if I can't buy another 200X or maybe put it into a dual sport. I'm not really too sure. So the day's just kind of going weird here, and he's coming down. He's got a badass Jeep coming down with his money, so I got to get going and then get the hell back to Brookings before dark, because crazy drivers out there, cool dogs. So crazy, got a stick. All right, guys. So this is gonna be the final segment of this video. I've kind of had to break it up into 3 pieces. You know, thought about selling the other 200X, didn't trade, or you know, thought about trading, didn't trade the guy, ended up selling it, and then ended up turning around and buying this 3-wheeler back from one of my buddies. So it's kind of funny. Real quick story. I bought it in the Willamette Valley for $1,200, honestly, which is such a steal. Like, I think these are pretty much the only 2 scratches that are on. Okay, and then on the case saver there, there's a little nick on the motor right here. I mean, teeny tiny stuff, but I mean, look at the frame. It's freaking cherry. I mean, you could eat off this thing. I mean, my buddy James, he's like a big tire shine guy, so I mean, he just dumped some sort of thing on it, and it freaking made it look shinier than the first day I ever bought it. So I bought it up north. Long story short, had a buddy that wanted it, and I wasn't really riding it because it was actually too cherry for me. I was like, man, this thing it's insane, insanely clean, and I like to actually ride stuff. If you've seen my other videos, a couple scratches in the grab bar, you know, but axles super cherry. Carrier is really solid. The bearings are good. The lights work. They're super bright. I actually have a sticker from when I very first purchased this thing. This sticker bugged me, so I have a sticker that I got shipped from this company over in Australia. It took like 2 months to get here. Sorry, Blake and James, I never gave that to you guys. But hey, worked out. So it's all stock exhaust. I'm thinking that I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, okay, back to my story. Gosh, I get so sidetracked. This thing's just so cherry. Okay, so I bought it. My buddy bought it from me, and then he gave me $1,000 and a 125M on top of the trade, which I ended up selling for like 1,800, or not 1,800. I think it was like 700 or 800 maybe, 750 actually. Then he had it for a little while. Really, honestly, didn't ride it too much, other than for a few jobs that he did, and then he went ahead and traded it to my other buddy, who has a bad stator on his Banshee. You know, they did a little swappy duty, and then he's not a big three-wheeler guy. So on my way up there, I'm thinking, man, I can sell this TW that I was gonna trade for my not junked out, it just not as cherry as this. So I was like, well, maybe I sell that TW eventually, and then I'll buy this back from James for, you know, whatever amount. And then he ended up being like, yeah, if that works out, man, go ahead. But fortunately, the guy that I went to go trade for the TW, he wanted my three-wheeler so bad, which I don't blame him. I missed the snot out of that thing. Can't cuss anymore. I forgot my YouTube's monetized now. So anyways, I'm just so stoked to have it back. My buddy James is pretty stoked too, because now he's able to get a new stator, ECU, and other things for his Banshee. He's got I think it's a Gixxer 700 motor, or no, Gixxer 750 in it. And every time we go to the dunes, it never runs. It just sits there parked, and he works on it, and he cusses, and he drinks a lot of beer. And then he just, you know, it's just sad to see. So James, you better freaking have that Gixxer 750 running, because I really want to ride that thing up Banshee Hill. But this is the new old whip. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this, folks. You won't be seeing me riding this in the dirt or doing trails, obviously. I'm actually going to go ahead and buy like a 110, or maybe a little putt around like XR 250 dirt bike, something that I can get my aggression out on the dirt with. But this thing's definitely going to be a pavement, you know, well, yeah, pavement right up and down the neighborhood, keep the bearings good and everything, of course. Do some wheelies. And then we got the old 250R here, of course. She's just a 250R. Or sorry, 330R. Got a new rack, AC Racing. Cleaned up the swing arm and stuff. I think I told you guys, got a new gold chain on it. AC stickers everywhere, that way everyone knows. But the chain looks really good. I've always liked the gold chains. The new axle too. That's a new old axle. I think I mentioned that in one other video. Carb hasn't been leaking anymore. Everything's holding up. I'm gonna take the pipe completely off, and I'm gonna get all that nice and polished up and looking like 100% cherry. I don't like the little spots of rust, because they're just gonna keep getting bigger. Front brake isn't working right now. The calipers need to be rebuilt, or not the calipers. The hell are these? The cylinders aren't going out all the way. One's actually stuck, and it's not returning either. So the front brake was stuck on. But for now, I just jam it right in there and don't have front brakes. I mean, honestly, you don't really need front brakes for a wheelie anyways. I got a stupid bolt that broke off right here. It's going to be a pain in the ass, I'm sure, to get out of there. But anywho, here she is, little 250R. I got new ODI grips. I think I'm going to put some hand guards on it, just because in case you ever roll. I mean, it's nice to not break your levers. I don't know if you guys have ever done that. I can't wait to ride this thing at the dunes, though. They're both just going to be like eye candy to anybody who appreciates three-wheelers. So if you go to the Oregon Dunes and they're going to Dune Fest 2019, I'll be out there. So hit me up in the comments, and let's do a little group ride. Thanks always for watching. I'm going to do some more videos on this. I got a Dodge Stealth video coming up here too. I've been doing some things to that. I put a new window in it, and I've been cleaning the heck out of the inside and outside, making it all cherry. And I'm going to start taking some body panels off and start getting those bondoed and prepped for paint. So thanks again for watching. Tune in next time.